I'm catching up on the Avengers, and in order to do so, I have found that I need to get caught up on the three main characters in the Avengers, namely Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America. We talked about Thor last week. This week, we're going to be talking about Captain America, so stay tuned. Welcome to Kevin's commentary on comics. In getting caught up with the Avengers and reading the core Avengers title, I have found that there have been significant character developments in the three main Avenger members, namely Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America, as I said before. So as I'm reading the core Avengers titles, I'll see Thor carrying an axe, and I'll go, what happened there? It takes me out of the story, so I've got to get caught up. Got caught up on Thor. We talked about that last time. So today I'm going to be looking at Captain America, and specifically looking at the one key issue that explains, aha, this is why Captain America is like this in the new Avengers books that I'm reading. So you really don't have to be a Captain America fan to know that Sam Wilson, formerly the Falcon, is now the new Captain America. But why? What happened to Steve Rogers that made him old, thus having to give up the shield to Sam? Well, I found that one key issue that kind of explains it for me so I can be up to date as I'm reading the Avengers, and that's in Captain America Volume 6, issue number 21. Now this issue is part 5 of a story arc called The Iron Nail. It looked like Captain America was a traitor to the United States. This was all set up by the Iron Nail. The Iron Nail used to be a former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who kind of became disgusted with S.H.I.E.L.D. and is now set on trying to discredit them. So he has somehow gained the powers of being able to kind of transform into a dragon man of some sort, and he can have these tentacles that have nails attached to them flying out of his chest, and he can shoot them and whatever. He basically found out, and so did Cap, I should say, about S.H.I.E.L.D. building another helicarrier. And this is not just your typical helicarrier. This one is so powerful and mighty, it has its own name, Gungnir. Man, just like Mjolnir in the last one, I got Gungnir now. I think that's how it's pronounced. Gungnir is what I'm going to go with. Correct me if I'm wrong. But at any rate, S.H.I.E.L.D. has been building this super helicarrier in secret when Captain America, thought S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't having any more secrets with them. This has always been a bone of contention with Captain America for quite some time, and now he discovers that they're at it again. And the Iron Nail finds out about this as well and decides, hey, here's a great way to show everyone what jerks these S.H.I.E.L.D. people are. I'm going to get Captain America to pilot this helicarrier into this nation known as, I'm reading this, Novoskistan? I don't know. It's a Russian country, I think. And at any rate, they've kind of positioned a way to have Captain America take this thing to this land. I should mention that this thing, as you can see here, has turned into a giant robot. Yes, this is a transformer, a helicarrier transformer with a big old sword and looks like a giant robot. So you've got Dum Dum Dugan, members of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Falcon, and various army guys trying to stop this thing. And oh yeah, Cap is also trying to stop it too, but he's doing it from inside the helicarrier. But trying to stop Cap, though, is the Iron Nail. Cap has found out that the only way to stop this thing is to destroy its power source, which is at, of course, the nuclear reactor or whatever type of reactor it is powering this deal. It could be lithium crystals for all I know. I don't really remember exactly what was powering it. But Cap had to get to the reactor, take it down to take down Gungnir. Of course, the Nail doesn't want him to do that and is stopping him in any way he can. So in addition to handling this emergency, Cap is also dealing with the fact that he just came out of a 12-year span in Dimension Z that was run by Arnim Zola. And even though this was 12 years in Dimension Z, so Cap lived 12 years of his life, it really only passed a couple of minutes within real Earth time. During this time, he actually gained a son, adopted a son, and raised him. As he was getting out of Dimension Z, his son, Ian was his name, was apparently killed. And then Sharon Carter, Cap's girlfriend, came in, and then she apparently got killed. And Cap was free of Dimension Z, but had two great losses coming out of it. Plus the fact that, 12 years has passed as far as he's concerned, yet only a few minutes passed while he was on Earth. So it was very much like when he awoke out of his iceberg state way back when, the pages of Avengers number 4. I like the idea that they did with this. I thought that Dimension Z storyline was actually really good, and his the after effects of coming out of that into where he thought 12 years had passed and really only a couple of minutes had passed is almost, in some ways, actually the exact opposite of what happened when he was frozen in ice. In frozen ice, time went on, but in his mind, maybe he'd only been a couple of minutes because he just, fell off the plane that Baron Zemo was sending the bomb on, and he lost Bucky. Here, it's kind of the opposite. He was gone for 12 years, but only a couple minutes passed. So yeah, I guess it's actually more opposite than it is the same. This is what happens when I do stream of consciousness while I'm talking. So at any rate, despite all this, Captain America fights on. He manages to get past the Iron Nail and to the ladder that goes down to the reactor. Unfortunately, though, the Iron Nail shoots some iron nails out of his arm and, gets Captain America on his back, and he falls down conveniently right into the foyer of the reactor. He activates a switch that opens up the reactor doors, but guess who comes in again? Yes, it's the Iron Nail. This guy just can't be shook. And here we actually see some foreshadowing on what potentially is going to happen with Cap, because he says he's not Captain America. He's just a man that wears the suit, and it's a privilege to wear it. He has these thoughts, so it was interesting they put this in here. Again, he's going through this whole Dimension Z stuff, and like I said, I think this is a little bit of foreshadowing of what's going to happen. He's saying, I'm not really Captain America. I'm just wearing the suit, and it's a privilege. Anybody can be Captain America is essentially kind of what he's saying. So the Iron Nail manages to use his iron tentacle thingies to deactivate the door, or to start shutting the reactor door, just as the helicarrier Gungnir is going to lay waste to this nation. Cap races for the door, but the Iron Nail shoots out his tentacles from his chest. He is really kind of an ugly villain, by the way. It's kind of gross the way he does his powers. But at any rate, he shoots his tentacle nail things into Cap's back. He got about 4 or 5 of them in there. Cap, So, he just barely has time. He falls to his knees. And what does Cap do? Well, Captain America throws his mighty shield. Of course. That's what the song is about. Captain America throws his mighty shield. So with the precision only that Captain America's years of experience can give him, he manages to get the shield through the reactor doors, down into the little cone thing shape, bang, 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 and destroys the power source reactor. The helicarrier stops in his tracks, so obviously Cap won, right? Well, not quite. Apparently, the nails that come out of the Iron Nail's tentacle have the ability to drain and neutralize the super soldier serum that is coursing through Captain America, Steve Rogers' body. Apparently, the Iron Nail drained all of it because now Captain America is really, really old. He's not dead, but he's certainly not in any condition to finish off the Iron Nail. But that's what the Falcon is for, who suddenly bursts in, takes on the nail, manages to fight him off a little bit, but really he had to save Cap from falling debris because the helicarrier is starting to blow up and fall apart. He grabs Cap, they fly out of the helicarrier, it blows up. Presumably the Iron Nail is in there as well, although, these are villains, they'll probably get away. They always tend to do that. It's comics, right? So Steve's last official act as Captain America was to save thousands of people. Saves the day, just like he always does, even as an old man. Here is where we finally get to the title of the book. Super Soldier No More. Yeah, I think it would be kind of a spoiler if they put that at the beginning where titles usually are found. So that's it. That's why Steve Rogers is now old, and why the Falcon is now Captain America. It takes a couple issues before the Falcon officially becomes Captain America, but, obviously, Steve's too old to do it. It makes perfect sense that Sam Wilson would step in as Captain America from now on. So now, basically, I'm caught up with that history, that character point within the Avengers that I'm reading right now. Sam Wilson is Captain America. Captain America is old, kind of being kind of a remote field leader for the team. But for how long? I know that the 20-year-old reader in me would have hated all these changes, hated them because I did not like change like this. But nowadays, to read, as long as a good story comes out of it, I don't care. Change all you want. Just give me a good story, and hopefully the story that leads Steve Rogers back to holding the shield will be a good one as well. So I'm Kevin. That was my commentary. What do you think about Sam Wilson as Captain America? And how do you feel about Steve Rogers being so old and not having any of the super soldier serum left in him? So how does Captain America get his super soldier stuff back, if he does at all? And do you care? Leave a comment below and let me know. I haven't actually gotten to any of the Sam Wilson as Captain America issues yet. I'm going to work on those, just as I'm working on the female Thor ones. But my next task now is to get caught up with Iron Man. That's going to be a much more significant task because I have not been following that series like I was Captain America or Thor. So I've got quite a bit of reading to do. I've got to go back about 2 or 3 years worth of Iron Man stories to understand where Superior Iron Man comes from. But I'm working on that now, so next time I will talk about Iron Man and find that one key issue that explains it all. Hopefully there's one. We'll see. So I've been lucky that there was one for Thor and there was one for Captain America. There may be several for Iron Man. I don't know. But we're going to talk about that next time. And if you want to see that next time, guess what you got to do? Yeah, you got to click down that subscribe button. Listen, I'm not going to go into the subscribe button thing again. I say this every episode. And if you want to hear me talk about that subscribe button for every episode all the time, well, then you need to click on that subscribe button. I think I may have just created a wormhole of some sort. But at any rate, hey, go out and have a great day, and I will see you next time, as long as this wormhole thing doesn't suck me in to Dimension Z. Bye!